All right. Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are awesome. I hope everybody can hear me. Does the microphone work? It appears to. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Oh, I forgot to do something. 1 second. I think it was picking up both microphones there for a second. I turned one off. I stream from a different location than I record my videos, so I have a desk on one side of the room, and where I stream is on the other side of the room. All right. Alrighty, how's everyone's day going? I hope amazing. All right, we should be live now. We should definitely be live now. That was a weird noise. I don't know what that noise was. That was weird. It sounded like a fart. However, it was not. I don't know. Did you guys hear that, or was it just me? I heard like a little brant. That was a really strange sound. I don't know what that was. All right. Let me get your guys' comments up on the stream. Pop out chat. Here we go. I think that was the phantom power turning off on the other microphone, maybe. Not really sure. It does make a little weird wind down sound when that turns off, so usually after you turn it off, it takes like a full minute for it to fully go off, which is really weird. They wind down. I've never really understood why that happens. All right. So we're going to find something to live race today. All right, what do we want to live race? Let's get out the Chevelle Recoil. One of my favorite cars in the game. I haven't driven this thing for a while. Morgan says my chair moved. Something made a strange sound. All right, let's see where we at. I absolutely love this. Darth, how you doing today? All right, we're in the 11.0 lobby, guys and gals. This car should be in the 11.0. All right, 11.0. What about AI, William D? I'm a little confused. Oh, come on. Get off of my screen, turd tacos. I'm trying to do a live stream here. Yesterday, I watched a video. It was hilarious. There was these guys with a remote-controlled bed. And they were driving it down the street and going into drive-through windows like at McDonald's and stuff. Oh, they went to a car dealership and they were just driving this bed around. It was hilarious. I think he said it did about 30 miles per hour, which is crazy. Hope you guys are having a good holiday if you guys celebrate it. All right, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, man, my controls didn't work. Hold on. I got to pull the screen down and reset them. Stacks, how's your day going? Melon, what's up, my man? William D, good to see ya. Charles, what's up, buddy? We got Joseph. Hey, hey. 1 second. Let me reset the controls. All right. Now I think that fixed it, I hope. I hope that fixed it. All right. Melon's got the LC500. You know, I think I partially upgraded my LC500, but not really. All right. Sometime later today, there's supposed to be a bunch of planets lining up together. I don't know if that's something you're going to be able to see. I don't know where you need to live to see it, but Easter 2026, there's supposed to be a huge planet alignment. Now, we had one of those a couple of months ago, and it was so cloudy out, we didn't get to see it. Unfortunately, it's really cloudy again, so I think I'm going to have to miss it again. I don't know what time it's supposed to happen. Supposedly, though, according to this one guy, there's this guy named like Chris Blatsos or something. He's got this crazy theory about it, but I guess it's supposed to line up with the Sphinx and the pyramids, and he's claiming that something ridiculous is going to happen. I kind of doubt it. I highly doubt it, but I guess you never know. We'll find out. I watch all those crazy shows. I watch a lot of those like Sean Ryan podcasts and Joe Rogan podcasts. And I'll tell you what, some of those people have a lot of crazy theories. Normally I just watch the clip shows because I don't have... It's crazy. Some of those podcasts are like 2 to 3 hours long, which I don't know why they do that. But the cool thing is, Joe Rogan and Sean Ryan and all those guys have a separate channel for clips where they play little like 10 or 15 minute clips. I can squeeze a couple of those in sometimes, but I can't normally squeeze in a 3-hour podcast. That's way too long. I mean, who's got 3 hours to sit there and listen to a podcast? Not me. I wish I did, honestly. I would love to have time just to sit there and watch TV all day long. Or listen to podcasts all day long. I'm amazed some of you guys come out and, you know, the start of my live stream and stay till the end. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're supposed to have a bunch of rain today as well. Max, what's up, my man? Max says nothing is going to happen. I disagree, Max. Something is going to happen. Nothing happening, I don't think that's a possibility. Something has to happen. Something. It could be anything. But yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen either. Technically, things are going to happen, but I don't think his theory is going to happen. Should you buy the Elva? The Elva is not really a great car, honestly. I don't know about buying an Elva. It looks cool and all, but it's not really wonderful. I wouldn't. I mean, unless you really need it for some reason, I probably wouldn't. How many wins do I have now? I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention to that stuff. I'd have to go look. Yeah, Max, the guy who says something's gonna happen has one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in my life, and is not very believable. It is not believable whatsoever. It's interesting and it's fun to listen to him talk about it, but I don't believe it for a second. The thing is, when it doesn't happen, how is he gonna feel? Is he gonna feel stupid because what he said was gonna happen didn't? That's the thing, man. If you come up with these big claims and it doesn't actually happen, I think that probably makes you look bad, don't you think? Melon, thanks for the swaps, buddy. I appreciate that. All right, Melon thinks we're in the 11.2. Let me pin that. Pin message, but bam. All right, we are pinned. Max says they just keep quiet and people forget. Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure. Some people don't forget, though. I'm always hearing people bringing up old school crazy stuff. Uh-oh. Did I change lobbies? That never actually happened. That was supposed to have. A lot of people forget, and then there's a lot of people who hang on to it and bring it back to your attention years later. But yeah, I mean, honestly, some people are crazy. I love the crazy theories, even if I don't believe them. What's up, Sasquatch? How are you doing today? Happy Easter to you as well. All right, we're going to race the Shaxx car. All right, Max says they tweaked the matchmaking again. Do you know what they did to it? Any idea what they might have done to it, Mr. Max? Oh boy. Okay. What's the crazy story? I don't know. All the planets and stuff are supposed to line up tonight. And when it does, supposedly it's going to line up with the Sphinx in Egypt and some big event's going to happen. I can't remember the exact story, but some huge big event's supposed to happen. And it was a really ridiculous story. But supposedly like an angel comes down and talks to the guy and tells him all this stuff. That makes it even less believable. Yeah, I don't have a very good memory, so I can't remember exactly what his story is, but it was really crazy. His name's like Chris Blazos or Blazos or something. You could probably look it up and find his crazy story, but there's about a 99.9% chance it's not going to come true. That's how I see it. But there is a planet lineup tonight. There is a bunch of planets that shall be lining up. So if you live in a place that's clear, I don't know what time it's supposed to start. But if you live in a place that's clear, you might be able to go outside and see it. I don't know if you need binoculars or a telescope or if you can just see it by looking up, but if it wasn't cloudy, I would probably go try and see it. But yeah, we got a bunch of rainstorms and maybe, just maybe, it'll clear up by tonight. I'm not sure. Same thing happened a few months ago, but we couldn't see it because of all the clouds. I don't think I'm paying much attention to what I'm doing here, so I'm going to run a couple of slow ones. Joseph, I mean, I don't know what to think about that kind of stuff, my man. Thing is, people don't really, I don't think people know. If that's going to happen, we have no idea when. That's the thing. I don't think anybody knows when, you know? Things are crazy in the world right now, I will say that. things are crazy in the world. But yeah, it's just nuts what's going on in the world and the way a lot of people act. I mean, I never thought in my life I would see things the way they are right now. I really never thought. It's so bad everywhere, and like just people in general, you know, back in like 2000, back in the 90s and early 2000s, people acted very differently than they do now. It seems to me like everybody is so much more hateful, angry, negative. Everybody just wants to fight with each other all the time. It's terrible. It's like people have lost their crap, and everybody's going nuts. That's how I look at it right now. Everybody's just going nuts and acting like a crazy fool all the time. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. Melon says, you guys ready for the Cadillac Blackwing tune he promised? I'll tell you what, Melon's Cadillac tune is probably going to be amazing. That car is a beast. If you set it up like Melon tells you, it's probably going to blow everybody into little teeny tiny pieces on the live racing track. Alright, Max says we can thank social media for bringing out the worst in people. So you think it was social media, huh? I don't really know what caused us it, but I don't really do social media other than YouTube. I don't really consider YouTube social media, but I guess it depends on what you watch. I don't really watch the YouTubers that do your average like BS news posts and post a bunch of junk. I avoid that kind of stuff on YouTube. I watch like some gaming videos, maybe a couple of podcasts. I watch microphone reviews because I really like microphones, and if I need to know how to do something, I might look it up on YouTube, but I just don't sit there and watch the crap all day long. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people do. Alright, Joseph, do you actually believe that happened? Or do you think that was just a story somebody made up? Because I've never seen anything that can actually prove that. I've heard that story, but I've never seen any proof for it. Alright, so Max says now the nutballs can get together worldwide and feed each other. Oh man, that is true, I guess. The internet does allow crazy people to connect with each other and come up with even more crazy things, I guess. Morgan says high frequency. All right. I think I ran a couple of slow runs just to make sure my car doesn't get pushed. So Max, how do you find out when they tweak the matchmaking? You seem to always know when they tweak it. I don't ever see them announce that somewhere. So what are you reading that somewhere, or are you just noticing things are different, or what makes you think that they've tweaked it? And if there's actual information saying that they tweaked it, where do you find that? Because I've never seen that. What's up, Ed Elmore? How you doing today? Awesome to see you. I've always thought about making a crazy YouTube channel just talking about ridiculous stuff. That's what gets views. Maybe I'd make a bunch of money if I did that. If I had time, I would probably try it. I think I got moved again. It does seem like it's moving us an awful lot. I'm definitely noticing they are moving me around more often today, which is interesting. The one thing I never understand is there's less people in the live racing lobbies. I don't know if that's because they're making more lobbies or if there's just less people live racing now. I've always kind of wondered that. Is the Navera still decent in live racing? Oh man, there's 1,500 cars in this game, and unfortunately my brain is not smart enough to remember what all of them do. Like if I put out a video that showed a live racing setup for the Navera, I don't think much would have changed, but I really don't remember if that had a good live racing setup or not. I really have a bad memory, unfortunately. I used to remember everything, but lately my memory is getting worse and worse. I mean, for the most part, currently if a car has a good low performance point high Evo setup, normally those do great. Now the cars we used to live race with that only win by beating the dyno, those run into a lot of problems. Max says less people playing. I do wonder how many people log on to this daily now. I would assume there's still a lot of people playing. Morgan said my old phone got wiped out, had to start over. Morgan, how long did you just start over? Like a brand new account? That would suck. Did you try and contact game support to see if they could fix that? I mean, I would definitely get a hold of them and see what you can do. Because I'm telling you right now, man, having to start over would suck. I mean, it would be kind of fun in some ways, but if you had a bunch of awesome stuff and you lost it, that would be terrible. I mean, I know game support's not great, but I would definitely try. Alright, so there's a bot in a Lamborghini. I bet that's a 3-star Lamborghini right there. Oh, it's got 5 stars. 3, 2, 1, go. Something doesn't seem right about that Lamborghini having 5 stars right there. The bots normally drive really slow cars. Joseph says, stop partying. I don't know what you're referring to. Huh. Joseph says, no, seriously, I took these pills that I ordered called Focus Up. It's amazing. I was remembering things years ago I didn't think I knew at all. Write this down. All right, Focus Up. Interesting. What's in them? Do you happen to have them near? I mean, what's the list of ingredients? Ooh, this is the first time I've ever seen this little car. Odom. I've never seen anybody driving this little car yet. This is going to be interesting. All right, here we go. Melon, did you post the live racing setup? If you did, I missed it. I would pin that to the chat. Let me know if you posted. I'll go back and see if I can find it. Ginkgo biloba, you mean? I think I've taken that before and it didn't help. What was I taking? Was it ginkgo or was it something else? It was some sort of root. It wasn't ginkgo, it was something else. What was that? It was like a little piece of root you would put in your mouth and it would like dissolve or something. I know it's a really popular supplement, but I can't remember the name. My uncle gave me some of that. He said it helped him big time. I don't remember. It's like right on the tip of my tongue, whatever it is. I've always heard ginger is really good for your memory as well. Ginger tastes nasty though. I bought a thing of ginger and you take a little slice of it and you're supposed to eat it raw every day. Oh my god, it's so disgusting. So disgusting. I did not like it. I think ginger is good when you mix it in with some stuff and cook it up, but by itself, oh man. I don't know. Black Phantom, what's going on, my man? How's your day going? I hope awesome. Thank you so much for coming out. All right, Joseph says ginger is also good for testosterone. I need to find something that's good for autoimmune disease, but so far nothing's worked. Nothing has worked so far. Bobby V. I think I watched a movie with Chris Walker where he played Bobby V. Don't remember what movie it was, but it was pretty decent. Pretty sure that was Chris Walker. Oh man, I got beat by a bot. Whiskey. Problem with like whiskey and other stuff that are similar, it turns directly into sugars, which are horrible for you. Like if you got inflammation and problems like that, you want to stay away from sugar completely. I ate a piece of candy last night. Like I've cut out all the sugar from my diet. I ate a piece of candy last night. Oh my god, my elbows hurt, my fingers hurt, all my joints are just aching this morning from the sugar. But I went on like the lion diet for almost a year. And it definitely helped a little bit, but not as much as people make it out to be. So after that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to start trying to eat some like vegetables along with this. And that seems to work out better. But, you know, those lion diets and carnivore diets, so many people claim it fixes all their problems. I mean, the claims people make about those diets is unreal. For me, it was a very small, I mean, it was a nice help, but it wasn't like people made it out to be. Not at all. What's up, Joanne? How are you doing today? Clay says, I'm liking the stash. What do you mean by the stash, my man? If I've missed anybody's comments, I'm sorry. Trying to play and read all the stuff at the same time is a pain in the buttocks. Joseph says, I don't like beets. Yeah, I don't like them either. They're nasty. I hate beets. Melon says, sugar is your worst enemy. It's not good for you, that's for sure. Charles says, good to know about sugar, making a note of that. Yeah, sugar is a huge cause of inflammation in the body. But the thing is, if you're going to cut the sugar out of your diet, sugar is one of your body's main energy sources. So you have to pretty much replace the sugar with a high-fat diet. Avocados are some of the best, cleanest fats you can get. So I basically try to eat 1 or 2 large avocados a day, because my body needs the fats for the energy. Joanne, I'm doing alright, my friend. Thank you. Joanne says, sugar is a drug. Oh man, he's gone. But, you know, if you're not eating sugar, you gotta have a high-fat diet or else you'll feel horrible. But there's good fats and there's bad fats. You need to make sure you're eating the good fats and not the bad fats. Bad fats will mess you up. Good fats will make you feel a lot better. But I think avocados are probably one of the best sources for the good fats. Danny, what's up? He says, ginger root, great for immune systems. Alright, read the rest of your message about beets. Where did it go? I'm not sure where it went to. It's disappeared from my screen, I think. Yeah, pasta definitely turns into sugar. Fruits turn into sugar, pasta turns into sugar, bread turns into sugar, rice turns into sugar. There's so many things like... if you're trying to go on a sugar-free diet, you need to you're basically going on to a keto diet or like a carnivore diet. Like keto diet is either no or very low sugar. Carnivore is where you basically only eat meat, salt, and water, and dairy products. But I was on carnivore for roughly about a year. And then I started mixing like avocados and broccoli and some other things back in. But since I've got celiac disease, I can't eat things like, you know, wheats or a lot of grains anyway, because my body confuses that with some sort of bad thing, and then it attacks itself even more. Doris says, I got a fast metabolism, so I can't eat anything. Alright, William D, I've never really heard of I've heard of a Mediterranean diet, but I don't know exactly what that is. I've never really looked that up. Yeah, seafood is supposed to be really good for you, but sea creatures are weird, they are creepy, and they freak me out. I don't want to eat sea creatures, I really don't. Max says calories in and calories out. I don't know what you mean by that, Max, but If you're talking about losing weight, are you speaking about losing weight? Because I'll tell you what, man, if you're consuming more calories than your body's using, you're definitely going to gain weight. But the amount of calories you eat per day definitely makes a big difference depending on what you're going for. Now, I think there are some people who have some weird health problems where no matter what they try and do, they still gain weight. William D says, Earth is 2/3 sea creatures. There's some weird stuff in there. Crustaceans aren't your thing. Definitely not. Max says seafood has a lot of pollution-based chemicals. That's what I have heard, actually. Matt, are you trying? Max, are you trying to store fat? I'll tell you what, man. When I changed my diet, though, when I went on the sugar-free diet, I lost, I don't know, 30 or 40 pounds in like 3 months. I thought I was maybe like 10 pounds overweight. I'm like, yeah, I could probably use like 10 pounds. Next thing I know, I lost like 30 some pounds. I was like, holy crap, I didn't even realize I needed to lose 30 pounds. But when I go back and watch some of my videos from like a year ago, 2 years ago, I was like, man, my face was like so much fatter. So I guess I was overweight and didn't even realize it. Yeah, Max, fasting is definitely supposed to be good for you. Like, I tried to go on a, I do like, I don't know if it's called intermittent fasting. There's like 4 or 5 hours out of the day where I eat, and that's it. Most days. There are a few days where I'm just like, I'm so hungry, I need to eat something. But I try and go about 20 hours a day without eating, and then there's like 4 hours out of the day where I can eat. I can't promise you that I can do it every single day. Like, for some weird reason, on Sundays, I'm always starving all day long. So Sundays, as soon as my stream's over, I go eat something, and I kind of break that on Sundays. Now, like yesterday I didn't eat anything until like 5 or 6 p.m. And then I didn't eat it, like, then I was done eating by like 8 or 9. So there was like a 3 or 4 hour window where I ate yesterday. I don't know how well that works. A lot of people say if you can fast for like 3 days straight or 5 days straight, that would be rough. Supposedly your body's supposed to repair itself. How do I prepare my avocados? It's definitely not a buttery type of fruit. Have you ever had guacamole? It's kind of like a guacamole type of a taste. It's not really what I would call buttery, but basically if you have a ripe avocado, they're really squishy. I just throw them in the air fryer, right? Or I put them in a frying pan and fry them. Like, usually I'm either cooking them with like whatever I'm eating for dinner, I throw my avocados in with that. So let's just say I'm cooking like ground beef. I just throw an avocado in there and I smash it up into little pieces. And then after my meat's cooked, I'll throw the avocado in there for an additional like 2 minutes and cook that. Or if I'm cooking my eggs, I'll just throw the avocado in at the same time as my eggs, and then it just kind of cooks with them. But I don't really know how to explain an avocado, but they actually taste, they're great with a little bit of salt on them. Oh, one thing, if you go on the like the low sugar diet, your body needs more salt as well. I guess the salt helps you stay hydrated. People on those diets get dehydrated faster for some reason. What do I think of Warframe? I don't know what that is. Warframe. Is that a game? Max says, I just slice them and eat them. What, the avocados? All right, Max says, all right, 5 days of normal eating and 2 diet days of 500 calories only. What's up, Arrow King? How you doing today? All right. Morgan says, after watching all the streams, I need a power nap. Do I put you to sleep? Am I that boring? I'm sorry if I'm boring. Yeah, you know, try no sugar for 30 days and see how you feel. I will say though, like the first day or two you'll feel fine, but on like you'll get like 3 or 4 days where you probably feel a little bit dizzy and lightheaded where your body's getting used to it. Unfortunately, that's a normal thing that happens when you start cutting out sugar. So when I did it the first 3 or 4 days, I was fine, and then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, I feel weird today. And there was probably about 3 to 4 days where I just felt really weird and just dizzy and lightheaded. And then that went away. But almost everybody who goes on the no sugar or super low sugar diet, unfortunately, experiences that. I think that's what they call the keto flu. It bothers some people more than others. William did the Whole30 diet. William says, I eat when I get hungry. Honestly, my understanding is you don't want to eat as soon as you feel hungry. You want to wait until you're like, man, I'm hungry, but you don't want to eat. You don't want to wait till you're like, holy crap, I'm starving. You know what I mean? You want to be like right in between, I'm kind of hungry and a holy crap, I'm starving. You want to wait till you're like right in between, I think. But Joseph says you're going to wind up eating things with sugar in it. I mean, that's the thing. You got to look at what you're eating. You got to find out what foods are low sugar to no sugar and stay with those. You can't have anything extra. I mean, basically, you're looking at like, look up keto-friendly foods. That's all you can have is whatever's like keto-friendly. Those are foods with no to low sugar and carbs. But if anything if you look it up and it's not like, you can get on Google and just be like, hey, does this have sugar or carbs in it? And Google will tell you yes or no. So if you're not sure if something has sugar or carbs, just get on Google and be like, hey, does this item contain sugar or carbs? And it'll say yes or no. And then you'll know whether or not you should be able to eat it on your diet. Yeah, I don't know anything about supplements to replace sugar. But generally, if you go carnivore, you're basically eating meat, dairy products, salt, water, and most of them even cut out the coffee. But you can't have like orange juice, you can't have pop, you're basically just eating meat and water and eggs. That's it. Maybe some like organic low-fat Greek yogurt's okay. But even stuff like yogurt, you gotta get plain with no flavor whatsoever, and you gotta make sure it's not full of extra crap. Like, there's a lot of foods out there that technically should be fine, but if you read the ingredients, they might add a bunch of extra junk into it. For example, like cottage cheese, there's certain brands of cottage cheese that are really clean and don't add extra stuff into it. And then there's brands of cottage cheese that add all this extra crap that's really bad for you. So you really got to read your labels if you're trying to go on some sort of diet for health reasons. You got to really, really watch everything like a hawk as according to what you're actually eating, because there's so many things that will mess up your diet if you're not careful. All right, William D is on a coffee and bacon diet. Melon says, most people will never lose weight because most of you will snack, cheat. Yeah, you got to have a lot of willpower, I guess. Like me, for example, I never buy junk food because I will hog it down. Like if I have junk food, like let's just say I buy a bag of potato chips, I'll eat the whole thing in like 30 minutes. I'll just sit there and I'll just eat the whole bag. But if I don't buy it, that doesn't happen. Every once in a while I'll cheat and I will buy a bag of chips or something like that, which I shouldn't because, that turns into sugars. But when I do, I will eat a whole bag of chips in a day. It's bad. What's up, Jedi? How are you doing today? Joseph, he's saying don't have anything for like Doritos or Kellogg stuff with artificial flavors. Supposedly, I don't know if they're actually going to do this or not, but supposedly that RFK guy is trying to make so companies have to put a label on food that says not fit for human consumption if they're adding all these crappy ingredients on it. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but that would be interesting if it did. But like if you look at like Skittles and Cheetos, and I mean just like a bag of Cheetos, just the stuff they use to color those yellow is so bad for you. It's not even funny. It's pretty much like poison. So yeah. Jedi, I'm doing pretty good, buddy. How about yourself? But if they actually do put those labels on food, I think that'll be amazing. I'll believe it when I see it. What I look for is no extra ingredients in food. So if I buy something, I read the label, and if I see like something in there that I don't know what it is or I don't know how to pronounce it, it goes back on the shelf. I'm like, nope, not buying that. Unfortunately, I mean, if you want to be healthy, 90% of the stuff at the grocery stores, you can't eat it. Sucks. I mean, honestly, I think it's okay to cheat maybe like once or twice a month, but that's about it. Morgan says, don't put those gummy things in front of me. I'm not really sure what's in gummies, but yeah. Like I ordered something the other day and the company put a little pack of candy in there in the shipment. And being the idiot I am, I'm like, oh, Oh, I gotta have that. Like I said, man, I ate that yesterday, or was it the day before? I don't remember, but man, my joints are paying for it. So if I do eat something with sugar, usually for the next 2 to 3 days, my joints hurt so bad. All right, Charles, why would you marry a Chinese woman and chew on her hair? I don't get it. I'm guessing that's supposed to be a joke, but I don't quite understand. Oh, wait, Joseph says, wait a second. Wait a second. Joseph says all candies that are gummies, one of the main ingredients is Chinese people's hair. They mix it with some sort of acid and add it to the recipe. Why would they add somebody's hair? That's freaking weird. That is really weird. Morgan says, one of my friends is gluten-free and it's more expensive. Not really, Morgan. If he's buying like gluten-free, if he's going to the store and going into the gluten-free section, yes, you're going to spend a fortune on that crap. But there's a lot of gluten-free items you can buy that are just normal price stuff. For example, if you buy like cans of Bush's beans, those are gluten-free. You can buy gluten-free pasta that's like pretty much the same price as a regular box of pasta. Like Barilla pasta, I think it's like 50 cents more per box, which isn't huge, but there's a lot of stuff like potatoes are gluten-free. You can eat a lot of potatoes, except for potatoes do turn into sugar. Now, if you go on a keto diet or a carnivore diet, unfortunately, that starts to become a little bit more expensive, which really sucks. I used to spend about $30 a week on groceries before I went on the keto diet. I was able to live off $30 a week. Now I spend $50 to $60 a week on groceries. I mean, if I was still able to sit there and eat potatoes all day long and rice, that diet was cheap. So a basic gluten-free diet is really cheap depending on what you're eating. I mean, used to be I would eat like 2 bowls of rice and a couple of potatoes every day, plus maybe some vegetables and some eggs, and that was dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. Odom, you're welcome, my man. I wasn't paying any attention. I'm sorry. I'm yapping. I'm in flap my lips mode right here, so. Oh, look, Stax has got the new Ferrari. All right, Melon's giving us the CTSV Blackwing tune, guys. Let me pin that. Melon gave us an awesome tune, guys. You might want to check that out for the Cadillac CTSV Blackwing. That is a beast. That is a mega beast of a live racing car. Melon setup will probably destroy 90% of the population of live racers. But yeah, you should probably check that out. If you got that car, now it's only the Blackwing version. Don't get that confused with the regular CTSV, which is not very good. Three, 2, 1, go. All right, Joseph said he knows a lot of cures that Uncle Sam doesn't want us to know about. Yeah, I truly think there's a lot of things that probably have huge health benefits, but the thing is, they don't want us to have that. They want to sell us their chemicals, their medication, which is probably harmful and bad for you. All right, we disconnected. Charles loves gummies. I don't know. I haven't eaten any type of gelatin or gummy in years. Last time I had anything that was like a gummy or a gelatin was probably like, I don't even know how long ago, honestly. All right. Xanth God says, my Porsche eats Black Wings and Supras alike. That said, it's a regular tune and actually earns RP, or is it Devil's Tune? What in the world is a Devil's Tune? Oh, you talking about a down tune? No, they're not down tunes. Down tunes are crap. Well, they're not crap, but down tunes are not something that we really support around here. Low upgrade setups are awesome, but down tunes are not great. People really shouldn't be using them, in my opinion. I do not agree with people down tuning and then going into live racing and betting people. I think that's terrible. I've done it once and I felt really bad and I've never done it again. Back when I first learned how to down tune whatever it was, some old school car, I was like, this is funny. But I bet somebody I won, I was like, that was actually pretty messed up. I really regretted doing it and I felt crappy for doing it, and I've never down tuned a car since then and bet somebody for resources. All right, Gamerkin, what do you mean by tips? You want tips for your Mark V Supra. What are you trying to do with it? Are you trying to set it up for live racing? I actually have a video that goes over that, but it also depends on which one you have, I think. There's now 2 Supras, I guess. Stacks, thanks, my man. Alright, I don't know if we changed lobbies or what just happened there, but I don't see Stacks anymore. But you got to be really specific. I mean, a tip could be something like, make sure you put some fusion parts in that car. That would not be a good tip, but that would be technically would be a tip. So you need to be a little more specific as to what you're trying to do, I guess. That way we know what kind of tips to try and give you. Alright, so there are 2 Elite Tuners Toyota Supras right now. There are two Mark V Toyota Supras in Elite Tuners. And there's a Mark IV Toyota Supra as well in Elite Tuners. So you're talking about the original one? And yeah, what are you trying to do with it? Stacks, yeah, thanks for the swaps, my friend. I mean, I do have a video that goes over a lot of the cars in the game. I definitely have a video for the Supras. That might help, yeah, but it really just does depend. Oh, for live racing, I fit mine to all stage 4 parts. I can't remember exactly how I have it tuned, but for live racing, I fit it to all stage 4 parts. I tune it a specific way that I do show on that video. And it does pretty good. It's not the best live racing car in the game, but it's a decent live racer. It'll normally win 60 to 70% of the live races on that tune, as long as you're not beating the dyno time. One thing about live racing, they punish you drastically when your car beats the dyno time. Do you believe God works through people? I don't know. I mean, most people probably not. Some people maybe. The majority of people, I would say no. At least the majority of people that I've met, no, definitely not. There may be some people out there, but those are probably few and far between. It seems like these days it's really hard to find really good people. I mean, they're out there. There's a lot of decent people out there, but it's really hard to find those like really good people. You know what I mean? There are some people that just go above and beyond when it comes to being a good person. I wish there were more of those people out there, honestly. But as far as the Supra though, yeah, you do want to make sure you got all the stars on it and everything else. I'm not sure I don't know if you need 4 stars or 5 stars or purple stars, but on the Elite Tuner Supras, you definitely want to make sure you have as many parts in that thing as possible as far as the Elite upgrades. Now the new Supra, I left mine at 3 stars and it's doing really well. I don't know if the original Supra would do well at 3 stars or not, to tell you the truth. But the new one's actually doing great on 3 stars. The old one, I don't think that it did good until I hit 5 purple stars. Max says, I never made a Ford Focus RS video. I don't think I've, you know what? I don't think I've ever driven, if you're talking about that little tier 1 car, I don't think I've ever driven that car. I've never used it. I've heard it was good, but I have no clue. Max says you're going to kill the Supra at Elite level 11. Charles says, you're a good dude. Who, me? I'm alright, I guess. I'm a nice person, but I'm not one of those, like, super good people. I mean, honestly, if I were, like, rich, I would probably give out so much money to, like, hungry kids and stuff. I don't really have the means to be one of those super great people, but if I had more money than I knew what to do with it, I would make sure there were no hungry kids in the area and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Some people go out and buy fancy stuff. Other people use it to do good with. At least I'd like to think that's what I would do with it. I guess you would never truly know unless you were actually rich like that, but... Oh, that's Daxum Racing. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm just yapping away again. Yeah, the only drawback on a lot of the Elite Tuners cars is you either need to get them up to, most of them, you need to either get them up to 5 golden stars or 5 purple stars before they really start to do well. It just depends on the car. Charles says you are. Thanks, my man. Alright, so William D, I mean, if you were like stupid, filthy, stinking rich, you could give money away like crazy. I mean, look at like Elvis and Paul Walker and people like that. They used to do so much for people. Like Elvis would be at a car dealership and he would see somebody was there looking at a car and couldn't afford it. He would just say, hey, he would walk over to the counter and say, hey, I'm buying that person that car. Paul Walker used to do stuff like that all the time too. So if you've got enough money, you could definitely give it away. I mean, you would have to make sure, you would probably want to invest some of it to make sure you still always had money coming in. But if you were like Rothschild rich or Rockefeller rich or movie star rich, and you were also smart with it at the same time, you could do a lot of nice stuff with it. But if you were stupid with it and just gave it all away and didn't invest any of it, then yeah, you're probably going to end up being broke at some point. But I look at it this way, man. If I had even if I had $2 million in the bank or $5 million, I mean, why would I ever need more than that? I probably would never, you know what I mean? A person only needs so much. That's how I look at it. A person only needs so much. All right, Joseph, so you're one of those amazing people. Awesome, my man. I think that's what you're saying. So if you're one of those awesome people that do a lot of nice things, that's great. Thank you for being like that. I probably did miss the message. Unfortunately, I'm trying to talk, play, read messages. It's a lot of, and sometimes the messages scroll down out of the screen before I get to read them. So yeah, I do miss a lot, unfortunately. All right, Melon says 2 million is not enough to live comfortably. I don't know, my man. I'm pretty sure if I had that in the bank, I'd be okay. It may depend on where you live. I mean, if you live in California where everything is crazy expensive, maybe not. This, I don't know. I'm not really sure how much you would need these days, but. Stacks, good swaps, my man. I think it disconnected us again. Black is busy. Max says you can have 5 million. If you were dumb with it, yeah. I mean, if I had 5 million in the bank, I'm pretty sure I could make that last the rest of my life. I would imagine. But I mean, if you go out and you start buying big houses and fancy cars and just going crazy, yeah, you could spend that. You could spend that so easily, it's not even funny. But if you're smart with it, I think 5 million would last most people a lifetime. I would say your average person probably never makes $5 million in their entire lifetime. I could be wrong, but I bet most people never even make $1 million in their lifetime. Let's just say Johnny John gets a job when he's 16 years old and retires at, 65. Johnny John probably never earned $1 million. Do you think I'm right, or do you guys think I'm wrong? I really don't know, but I bet your average person never hits 1 million. Max, I don't know very many people making 100,000 plus a year, to tell you the truth. I don't think your average person makes 100,000 a year. Around here, your average person makes somewhere between like 20 and 50. I mean, there are definitely a lot of people out there that do make that kind of money, but also, I don't think your average person does, however. I think if you're making over $100,000 a year, you're probably pretty lucky. Millen says average in the US is 45,000. That sounds right to me. Now the thing is, like 10 years ago, 45,000 would have been a nice chunk of change. That would have been very nice. Right now, with the way things are, though, I think 45 is kind of like hard to live off if you're just by yourself. Like they say, you almost have to have like 2 incomes in a household nowadays to make it, which is crazy. I mean, just like me, you know, I live with people. I don't live by myself because I can't afford it. If I had to go out and get my own apartment, I'm not sure, with the prices things currently are, I'm not sure I'd be able to swing it. Maybe, but probably not. Like, if you're not making like 1 million views a month on YouTube, you're probably not getting that much money. I figured it out one day. You'd probably need to make over 1 million views on YouTube to really like be like, wow, I'm making some dough, you know? Like, even a channel that gets like a couple 100,000 views per month is not as much as you would think. Like my little audio and tech channel, put it this way, my little audio and tech channel gets roughly 50,000 views per month. And it usually makes between $100 and $200 a month for 50,000 views. My War Robots channel gets almost 100,000 views per month, and that usually makes around $300 per month. So my CSR2 channel gets around 200,000 views per month, and I'm not sure what that's currently making, but it's usually up. It's really up and down on this channel. What's really weird is my other channels stay pretty steady. This one's always up and down, up and down, up and down, but it's kind of weird how some, like the other channels, fluctuate a lot more. I mean this one fluctuates This one fluctuates more. I've confused myself. This is what happens when you're dyslexic. I'm pretty sure this is part of dyslexia. I start thinking about the numbers on 3 different channels and I get confused. Morgan says, I'm on disability, $1,300 a month. Yeah, that's definitely rough. Are you able to get some sort of low-income housing? I definitely hope so. I mean, $1,300 a month would definitely be rough, depending on what you have to pay for rent. All right. Now, what was interesting, though, is I actually made a video on my audio and tech channel about 2 months ago. And it got 30,000 views in a month, and that video made $500. That was amazing. That was the best earning video I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't believe that video made $500. I'm like, holy crap, I bought a $20 item, I reviewed it, and that video made $500. Actually, no, it took 2 months. In 2 months, that video made $500. So I tried to buy another kind of similar item and review it, and that video hardly got any views. I was disappointed. But most videos, like most of the videos on this channel, might make somewhere between $2 and $10 on average. These live streams, you know, I live stream on here for like 2 hours, and I usually make like $4 off the live streams. Some of the live streams have been like $1.75. Oh man, like 1,000 views on YouTube is a couple of bucks, usually. Oh man, Morgan says rent is 900 plus utilities. Dude, that is rough. That is rough. I mean, that barely gives you money for utilities and food, man. I'm sorry to hear that, bud. Have you thought about maybe trying to get like a roommate or something? I mean, honestly, that would probably be a huge help if you could. You know, if you could find someone to pay like half of the rent, that would probably be great. Gamerkin says, what car should I use? What are you trying to do? What car should you use for what, my friend? Alright, I'm barely paying attention. I'm yapping too much. Black cumin seasoning? I've never actually heard of that. Black cumin. Isn't cumin what's in turmeric? I actually tried getting turmeric for a while, and I used to put it in my food every day. Unfortunately, that never really seemed to help. Stack says, thanks for the tune, Melon. Yeah, Melon's tunes are always amazing. Alright, so that fruit you're talking about, I'm not even sure that exists. Ground guanabonzas? Ground guarabonzas? What is that? I don't know. I don't think we have that here. I've never heard of that. Now, as far as like a black cumin seasoning, is there a specific brand, or I can try to find some of that. The other thing, I don't know what that is. So that's an actual fruit that you can buy, because I don't think they sell that in the United States. If they do, man, I'm gonna have to try and figure out what that is. I do know there's a lot of things you can get here and there's a lot of things you can't. So I'm not really sure if that's available here. I'm not sure where you live, but I'm going to have to look it up. What's up, 240? How you doing today? Man, I don't remember exactly how much RP the F1 makes, but I think it's around 1,200 to 1,400 respect points per win. That's if you're not running the wild card, but it's somewhere there. It might be 1,200, 1,300, 1,400. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it does earn a little more than most cars. Now, until recently, I think it was the highest earning car in the game. But now they came out with a couple of those new Legends Revival cars that have the pristine thing going on. Those do, you can make those earn more, but the F1 is definitely earning a little more respect points than all the other cars, except for those new ones with the pristine feature. Former skateboarder, nice, nice. What car should you use for any race? I mean, the thing is, a lot of races require you to use specific cars. There is no really one car fits all. Different cars are good at different things. I mean, there are some cars, let's just say that a race did allow you to use any car. I mean, some cars have good top speed, some have good acceleration, some just cross the finish line quickly. Some have good low upgrade setups for live racing or beating the dyno time. Some cars beat the dynos, some don't. I mean, there's so many variables. There's not really any one car does everything in this game. But the majority of the things on the map are going to require you to use a specific car. For example, if you go into a showdown, every time there's a new showdown, it wants you to use a different... There's only like 5 cars available. Next showdown will have 5 different cars. The one after that will have 5 different cars. When you run your daily races, I mean, some of those will require one specific car. So that's a little bit hard to answer because there's really no one car that you can use for every single thing. Now, me personally, I find I use a lot of the Elite Tuners cars for a lot of stuff. The good Elite Tuners cars are some of the better cars in the game, and you get most of them for free. But unfortunately, you do got to spend a lot of time grinding showdowns to get those Elite tokens to upgrade them to add stars. But that's a question I can't exactly answer because I could tell you, hey, upgrade this car, and then you may not be able to use that specific car for anything other than maybe live racing or some real basic stuff, but there's really no one car fits everything. All right, let me read some of these comments here. All right, so Joseph can still skateboard at 50. I'll tell you what, man, that's pretty awesome. I used to do skateboards and BMX bikes. And I remember I quit the BMX for like 7 or 8 years. Then I went out and bought a BMX bike, went to the skate park, and I crashed. I was like, this hurts so much more now that I'm older. And then eventually my autoimmune disease got so bad I can't really do anything now, which sucks. But I'll tell you, man, the older you get, the more it hurts when you crash a bike or a skateboard or anything, though. $240 says, the kind of low my Mustang Roush makes over 1,300 with stage 5 and no wild card. My Supra makes 1,280 with nothing. I don't think it's worth Something about the F1 Elite. I don't remember the exact amount the F1 makes. It does make more than those other cars. I don't remember the exact number, however. I'm just kind of taking a guess going by memory. I very rarely drive the F1 because I don't enjoy driving it. That's another thing. If you're making cars elite to get a respect point bonus, you want to make sure it's a car that you actually like and that you actually enjoy driving, because if you just make some random thing elite that gets good RP and then you realize you hate driving it, that's kind of a waste. Even though it's a great car, you got to make sure you like that car. If that makes sense. Joseph, have a great day, buddy. Thank you for coming by and the advice and everything. Rid says, too much yapping about I don't know what. Oh, man. All right, how good is an Elite Tuners Mark V Supra? All right, so it's a very decent car. It's not like great at anything, but it's good at most things. It can beat the dyno time. It's got nice top speed. It's got nice acceleration. It can do pretty good on low up. You know, in my opinion, it's a nice all-around car. It's just a great all-arounder. There are better cars in the game that will definitely do everything better than it can. But in my opinion, that car will do everything you need it to do well. So I think that's an awesome car. I mean, it's one of the first really amazing cars the game gives you for free. It's actually a good car to upgrade and invest in my opinion, because it can do it all well. I mean, one thing though is new cars come out and they keep getting better and better and better and better. So, I mean, eventually, I mean, if the game sticks around for another 5 or 10 years, I mean, maybe that car will just be crap and outdated by that time. But as of right now, it's a very decent car. How do you get elite cars for free? All right, so generally what happened, I don't know how they have things set up now, but generally when you start a new Elite Tuners event, a lot of those cars were free back in the day. I don't know if they still are, but for example, some of the original Elite Tuners events would have 2 cars for the event. They would give you one of the cars for free, and then you would have to purchase the other one with gold. So not all of the Elite Tuners cars were free, but a lot of them were. Every time there's a new Tuners Pit event, those cars are for free, but I don't know how they have the old Elite Tuners events currently set up. Back when we did them, they gave us a lot of free cars. I've heard some people say that may have changed. But when you start an Elite Tuners event, they're either going to give you a car for free or you're going to have to go purchase them with gold, one or the other. Now, if you go into the Elite Tuners event shop that's on the map, if you earned a bunch of Elite Tuners keys, you were able to spend some of those Elite Tuners keys, different keys than go in your crates. They're tickets, they're not keys, I'm sorry. You're able to spend some of those tickets on either parts or cars. So that's another thing to look at. But somewhere on there you should see like the Elite Tuners event shop on your map. And there should be all kinds of junk in there until you buy it all, and then at that point it all expires. Oh, Joseph says, sorry about the voice texting typos. Yeah, I do mainly voice text on my phone as well because I can't type on those little keyboards. I hit everything but the key I'm trying to hit, so I do the same thing. I'm sure it probably messes up and I don't notice it a lot, unfortunately, but All right, so the 488 Pista is not a great car, unfortunately. Back when it came out, it was a decent car, but it's never really been a great car. It's one of those deals. I think I got the 488 Pista Spider, or maybe the Pista. I don't remember. It was one of the first cars I ever maxed out, and I quickly thought, oh man, I messed up, because I thought it was going to be way better than it actually was. It didn't do very well for me. Should I wait and buy 2 cars with tickets at the same time, or should I buy them with gold? So all right, here's the deal. If you buy them with tickets, you won't be able to buy those parts with tickets. What's more important to you? Would you rather buy the parts for the car with the tickets, or would you rather buy the cars with the tickets? I guess it depends on how much gold and how many tickets you have. Like so all the Elite Tuners cars that I had to buy, I actually bought it with gold. If I had to do it over again, I probably would have just spent my tickets to get the cars instead of wasted my gold. Because I spent so much gold on those cars in total, it was ridiculous. And honestly, now that I really look back, I should have just bought the cars with the tickets. It might have taken me a little longer to get parts for the cars, but honestly, I think that would have been the better choice for me, but that's really going to be a personal preference thing, so hopefully that helps there. Because the thing is, you can always earn more tickets, it just takes a while. I mean, it ended up to the point where I had so many tickets it was ridiculous, and I bought all the parts out of there. Now I've got like millions of Elite Tuner tickets that I can't spend. There's nothing in there to buy with them. When I go into that shop, it's now just 100% empty because I bought everything. So if I had it to do over, I would have spent my tickets instead of my gold. How good is the Elite Tuners NSXR? Like in general, I'm not really sure, but I do know a lot of people love the NSXR for live racing. If you find the right setup for the NSXR, it's really good for live racing. Now, when it comes to like, you know, top speed, baiting dyno, does it cross the finish line quickly? I don't really remember. I know it's a good live racing car though. I don't remember if it's a good general all-around car, but it does have a nice low upgrade setup that usually is amazing for live racing if you know what you're doing. William D says, thanks for entertaining us with the stream. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here. I guess William D's leaving. We do only have about 10 more minutes left on the stream, everybody. Our streaming time is almost over for the day. All right, what is personal RP? All right, so personal RP is something that I've never paid any attention to. I mean, basically, as you do all your little racing events, your daily races, your live racing, your showdowns, some of the stuff you earn is crew respect points, and some of it's personal RP. The more you race, the more of both you earn. And personal RP will put you on a leaderboard. I don't even remember how it works. It's been so long since I've looked at it. But if you earn enough personal RP, you get on a little leaderboard and you can win a few prizes from it. But I've never, ever in the 9 years that I've played this, paid any attention to personal RP, because to me, it's never been important. It's just like something that's kind of slightly helpful. I mean, you gotta be somebody who plays the game for like 15 hours a day to climb to the top of that leaderboard. Like, it's actually ridiculous how many hours some people spend playing this game per day. I don't know how they do it. But there are seriously people that spend 6 to 8 hours a day playing this game. And those are normally the people who like climb to the very top there. Gamer King, have a great day, my friend. Catch you later. So if you're doing like the little crew cups, most of the RP that you're earning out of those that's crew RP. Like when you do the prestige cup, you're earning crew RP. Like those prizes. So when you do an event and it gives you a big chunk of respect points for a prize, that's all crew RP. I wish I had a better way of explaining this. It's a little complicated how that works. Some things are a little bit hard to put into words. In my opinion, it's a really weird system with the regular RP and the crew RP, but when you do a prestige cup and you get that big 180,000 chunk of respect points at the end, I do not believe that counts for your personal RP. That's just crew RP there. Now, when you win like a live race, I believe that counts for your personal and your crew RP, if I remember correctly. That's something I'm very rusty on. Like I said, man, I haven't looked at the personal RP in years. But if I remember correctly, that's kind of how it works. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright, I'm going to run a couple of slow runs here. Before we go, I'm going to run a few slow ones. I have not been paying attention. But if I remember correctly, Max, like that, am I correct about that? When you win a big chunk of respect points for the Prestige Cup, that doesn't go to your personal RP, does it? I may be wrong about this. Like I said, I don't have the greatest memory, and things I haven't looked at in years, sometimes I do forget. Darker Knight said yesterday there was a guy in his lobby with over 10 million respect points after 3 days. How do you wink? How is that possible? Alright, thanks, Max. I thought so. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1, battle. I'm running nice and slow. Thank you for letting me win if I'm running slow. Ben, thanks, buddy. Happy Easter to you as well. Alright, Max the Gamer says personal RP does count for the wildcard bonuses. You know what, that's never something, no one's ever asked me about that, and that's something I've never thought about. That's interesting, actually. But it does make sense, yeah. So Max says if you're running the wild card, it should count for crew and personal RP, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I never even thought about that. Ever. Never once has that thought ever crossed my mind. What do you get from the leaderboard for being rank 6? It should tell you. I mean, if you look at the leaderboard, it will tell you what the prizes are. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it changes. I mean, there's a couple of different leaderboards, so I'm not really sure which leaderboard you're speaking of. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and leave this lobby. Let's go. I got to even remember how to find the personal RP. I'm telling you, I haven't looked at it in years, so. Oh, man. Thank you for the swaps, guys and gals. I appreciate that. All right, so personal respect points. Profile. All right, yeah, these are the personal respect points here. This says it's the leaderboard. All right, so first place gets 65 silver keys. That's it. Second and third place get 35 silver keys. Fourth to 10th, 250 bronze keys. I'm in 50th place, so I guess I'm going to get 250 bronze keys. So yeah. But this is the personal RP. So I've made so far 180,000 personal RP. And I've made, let's see how much crew RP I have. Oh, for crap's sakes. Alright, so I've made 1 million crew respect points, but only had like 200,000 personal, so it's kind of crazy. It's a crazy setup if you ask me. Melon says, nobody can complain about chatting. I don't know. I mean, I honestly spend about maybe a total of 4 to 5 hours a week live racing. I do about 2 hours on this live stream, maybe 30 minutes to an hour on the other live streaming on most days. And then, you know, I might run 1 or 2 tanks of gas. Some days I don't get on live racing at all. Some days I might run a couple of tanks. So it just depends on how much time I have for that day. But it's different every day. I mean, some days I might get on and play for 10 minutes. Some days I might get on and play for an hour. But I do often split it up. I mean, I might get on for like 10 minutes here. A couple hours later, log in for 15 minutes. A few hours later, come back for 20 minutes, you know. There's a lot of days where I do split it up. I do different things at different times because it keeps the game from becoming monotonous and boring. Honestly, the game is extremely repetitive. It's just launch, shift, 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 shift. Launch, shift, shift. It's the same thing over and over. So I think if you spend too much time like at too much time in one go, it gets boring. But if I do like a couple or several little sessions a day, it keeps the game from becoming boring for me. So if I get in for like 3 hours, I'm bored as crap. I mean, on the live stream, I'm usually yapping and chatting, and I'm barely paying attention to the racing on the live streams, but so normally I couldn't get on live racing for 2 straight hours or I would be bored to death. But I don't mind, you know, 15, 20 minutes of live racing here, 15, 20 minutes there. I mean, that's kind of how I do it these days. I mean, after 9 years of playing something, you get kind of burnt out if you spend too much time on it, I would say. Now, when I first started playing this game, I bet I spent 3 to 4 hours a day on it. Now I probably spend maybe, on average, 30 minutes to an hour per day playing, I would say. Probably closer to an hour per day. I'm not really sure. It just depends on the day. I mean, there are some days where I log on, I do my little daily races. It takes me 15 minutes and that's it. Other days I get on and run 3-4 tanks of gas on live. Might come back later and run a tank or 2 of the showdowns. So it's definitely different every day. It just depends on, you know, what I'm in the mood for, how much time I have, stuff like that. I need to get back into the habit of logging on and running like a tank of gas or 2 on the showdown every night before bed like I used to do. That way I could get in some extra showdown races and maybe earn a few more of those Elite Tuners tokens. Alright guys, so Melon's pinned comment there, make sure you guys check that out if you haven't seen his tune for the CTSV Blackwing. He's got a live racing setup and tune down there. That is going to be a nasty setup to destroy everybody. So you guys might want to check that out if you haven't already. I screenshotted that. You guys can screenshot that if you want and check it out. But thank you, Melon, for sharing that with us. I really appreciate it. But if you set it up just like he tells you, that will just rip people to pieces in live racing. Oh man, Trevor, what's up, buddy? I don't know if you just got here, but unfortunately you're coming in right at the end, my man. Thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate it. I hope your day is going awesome. But unfortunately, I got to get off here and get some other stuff done for the day, so I can't stick around too much longer. It always sucks when people pop right in at the end of the stream. It's always a bummer, but unfortunately it happens. But nonetheless, awesome to see you, and thank you for being here. Thanks to all of you guys and gals for watching my videos and showing up on my live streams. I definitely appreciate all of you, because you know what? A YouTube channel needs viewers. So if you guys weren't watching the channel, this probably wouldn't exist. So thank you for watching my videos. I really do appreciate you guys a lot. But unfortunately, I do have to go. So thank you all. You're all super duper amazing. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Huge shout out to the channel members. Big shout out to the moderators. You guys and gals are amazing. Lightning out. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You're all super duper 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 crazy awesome. And we will catch you next time, all right? Bye-bye.